Pag-usapan natin itong yung decision ni Solicitor General Minardo Guevara. Unang-una, no, para meron tayong baseline facts, no. Para sa mga hindi familiar, ano ba yung trabaho ng isang Solicitor General to begin with?
Yun nga ang una kong sasabihin sa iyo, no. Gusto ko sanang sabihin sa kanya, you had one job. And that is to be the statutory council of government. You know, hindi ka pwedeng magpa-dispense basta-basta as statutory council just because you have sometimes a different point of view, unless, let's say, for example, you invoke the Tribune of the People doctrine under your charter, which in this particular case, hindi naman niya in-invoke explicitly, no? So as the statutory council, duty niya actually based on law to defend the government's taken position, no. Ang sinasabi kasi nitong si Minardo Guevara, no, ni Solgen Minardo Guevara, hindi raw pwede kasi nag-appear daw yung ICC sa ICC yung OSG saying wala siyang jurisdiction, no. To begin with, that is completely wrong, no. Albeit wrong yung kanyang stand doon sa ICC, and it's not mutually exclusive naman. In other words, pwede naman sabihin na walang jurisdiction, and there are a lot of legal defenses to defend the actions of this government, no. For example, malinaw na meron tayong obligations under the Interpol. So sabihin lang nila, yung depensa na meron tayong obligations under the Interpol. Secondly, na based on domestic law, RA 9851, pwedeng isurrender ng executive yung international fugitive who are suspected to have committed crimes against humanity. Pwede niya ring sabihin na malawak ang executive prerogative to begin with when it comes to promoting peace and order. You can easily cite the case of Marcos versus Manglapus na nung bumabalik sila sila Marcos, yung Marcos family right after the revolution, some years after the revolution, pinigilan sila ni Corazon Aquino at sinabi doon sa doktrinang iyon na wide ang prerogative ng president when it comes to promoting public safety, protecting national security. Yun yung tinatawag nating residual powers of the president doctrine. In other words, very defensible without taking a look at whether the ICC has jurisdiction or not. No? So, mali na nga yung sinabi nilang the ICC does not have jurisdiction because that has already been settled by our own Supreme Court in a 15-0 decision in Pangilinan versus Cayetano. Explicit din sa Rome Statute na hindi na di-dispense yung obligation noong state party while it is still a state party, no? So sabihin na nating hindi intellectually dishonest yung mga arguments na yon. Kayang-kaya naman na depensahan pa rin yung actions ng government without going to the issue of ICC jurisdiction. But what happened, no? What happened is hindi lang siya nagpa-recuse. Nag-manifest pa, nag-file ng manifestation sa Supreme Court saying na it's firm belief, as if the OSG, it's firm belief na walang jurisdiction yung ICC, no? I think that's a little bit of a low blow, so to speak, sa stand ng government. Kasi unduly, parang you went even against your statutory client, no? So I think that is something na hindi dapat. I'm not certain why the administration is still keeping Minardo Guevara, who was not only appointed by Duterte as Justice Secretary. This is the same Medjaldea, the same Guevara law partner of Medjaldea for the longest time. Matagal na mag-partner yan sa the same law office. Maraming pinagdaanan yung dalawang yan. And the same Secretary of Justice from April 2018 to June 2022 who did not actually prosecute yung mga highest level of police officials doon sa war on drugs. In other words, kaya siguro nasa ICC tong si Rodrigo Duterte kasi hindi niya ginawa yung trabaho niya bilang DOJ Secretary na kinailangan pang pumasok ng ICC. This is also the same Guevara who has a pending case with the ombudsman for using convicted criminals against Laila de Lima, which is in violation of our laws. No? So kung hindi niya ginawa yung trabaho niya noon bilang Secretary of Justice, ngayon ayaw niya ulit gawin yung trabaho niya bilang Solicitor General na depensahan supposedly yung action taken by the Philippine government. So it's unfortunate actually na hindi niya ginagawa ang kanyang statutory duty no? Despite the fact that there are a lot of arguments available out there. But instead, even filed a manifestation na para bang chini-cheap shot yung mismong stand na tinake ng executive na supposedly kliyente niya.
So ang tanong, dapat na ba mag-resign itong si Solicitor General Minardo Guevara?
Ako, matagal na dapat siyang nag-resign, no? Kasi nga, to begin with, kompromisado siya, no? Sa akin kasi, di ba, yung kliyente mo, yung executive, nakita mo na naman noon pa na hindi na okay. I mean, meron kasi tayong tinatawag minsan na, di ba, ano tawag doon? Delikadesa, di ba? Hindi na dapat nga ikaw pinapaalis. Pero sa akin, hindi lang mag-resign. Dapat sa akin siguro, i-consider na kung why is he still being kept anyway. He could be terminated, di ba? Properly. Pero siguro, para lang, di ba, isipin na lang natin kung may courtesy, kailangan sigurong mag-resign na siya. He had one job, and that is to be the statutory council of government. He is not doing his job. This is based on law, di ba? And this is based on his legal duty and obligation.
Okay. A lot of things to unpack doon sa sinabi ni Attorney Dino, no? Una-una, do you think conflict of interest was an issue here? Baka naman conflicted siya. That's why he took that position?
Kahit naman conflicted siya, napakarami. Alam mo, ang biggest law office of the land is the Office of the Solicitor General, di ba? Hinayaan niya na lang siguro sana yung ibang mga abogado doon na pumirma, no? Kung personally conflicted siya, no? Napakalaki ng opisinang Offices of the Solicitor General. So I don't think that is supposed to be an issue, no? And again, as I've mentioned, if ang conflict is dun sa stand, ang daming possible arguments without touching the ICC's jurisdiction. This is just an issue of whether the actions of the executive are valid. You don't need to take a look at whether the ICC has jurisdiction there. Di ba? Hindi nga pinagtatalunan kung may jurisdiction ng ICC or wala. Di ba? Hindi mo naman kailangan i-assess yung validity ng warrant of arrest. Di ba? Ang kailangan mo lang i-assess is do you have legal basis domestically under the laws to actually justify the actions of the executive? Do our laws actually allow what the executive has done without delving into whether or not the ICC's jurisdiction is valid?
So ang kailangan na i-cite dito ay 9851 dahil nandun yung provision na pwede mo ipaubaya sa, let's say, international tribunal yung pag-prosecute ng crimes against humanity. Option yan, di ba?
And the fact na the president is the chief architect of foreign policy, these are foreign matters, ang daming case law that will support that, ang daming case law that will support and advance executive prerogative. Mas marami pa nga yan di ba? Kasi nga, very powerful in the Philippines, unlike in other nations, ang executive sa atin dito, kasi nga meron tayong link doon sa Spanish colonial times wherein the Governor General is still the most powerful and hindi pa democratic. At doon, nagsimula yung executive powers ng ating gobyerno. No? Meaning to say, ang lakas talaga ng executive powers in the in the current scenario. And nakita nyo naman, di ba, kung paano kaya kung hindi na i-transport kaagad si Rodrigo Duterte, ano kayang possible things that can happen here in the country? Di ba? Kailangan mo nang i-preempt yun Kailangan mong yung president has to be trusted with the wisdom to know what should be done in that particular context. This is in the case of Marcos versus Manglapus, no? So kitang-kita yung executive prerogative rin in making sure that there's going to be public order, national security, public safety when it comes to these crucial questions, no? Malinaw medyo, 'di ba? Ang hirap siguro paano kung nasa Davao siya? Paano kung nagbarikada? Paano kung ang daming questions na pwedeng na-avoid because of the swift executive decision here, which I think is defensible under our jurisprudence and under our laws.
Okay. Sabi mo, dalawa yung action na ginawa niya, no? Yung pag-recuse, tapos yung dalawa yung pagdiin doon sa position ng Solicitor General na walang jurisdiction yung ICC. Doon sa second point, do you think that actually worked for the interests of the Dutertes na sila nga nag-petition dito sa ginawa ng BBM administration?
Well, alam mo, deliberate mang actions, no? Alam mo, marami silang abogado pumirma dyan. So I think very deliberate yung action and conscious decision nila to undermine the actions of the executive through a simple manifestation. At least that is my submission. No, I don't think that that was just an unintended consequence, considering that a lot of lawyers reviewed from their on their part. No, so to some extent, at least para bang nag-throw ng shade through the manifestation on the actions of the executive. Whether it's completely effective or not, of course, we will see in due course. But definitely the action is to throw shade at what the executive did in surrendering Rodrigo Duterte to the Interpol and eventually to the ICC, which is legally justified naman under our laws.
Oo nga, pero in street parlance, parang ang dating yan, mukhang ayaw mo na mag-abogado sa gobyerno na kliyente mo, mukhang nag-abogado ka pa rin sa kalaban. Tama ba?
Diniin mo pa yung stand, yung legal stand nung kabila, hindi naman kinakailangan, no. But I don't know, I will see, no, pero I think at the very least, no, tinignan ko rin naman yung mga signatories, marami siguro ring mga hindi pumayag na pumirma, no, kasi usually mas marami yung mga signatories sila for even all the other cases that I've handled with the OSG, no. So, siguro marami ring nakita na anong gagawin natin dyan, ba't mo gagawin yan, no. So I think may mga ibang assistant solicitors, solicitor generals na hindi pumirma, whether that's deliberate or not, of course, only them will know why that is the case.
Okay. Yung Tribune of the People option, kailan ba ito dapat ginagamit? Yung Solicitor General bilang Tribune of the People?
Well, kasi statutory statutory council siya, pero sometimes there is a possibility that the government might be taking action, direct action that cannot be defended because it goes against the interest of the people. Iilan beses lang yan, mangilan-ngilan lang yan, kasi supposedly the executive is representing the people, di ba? Government of the Philippines, people of the Philippines. Kaya nga pag yung DOJ ang nagre-represent, it's people of the Philippines versus an accused, no? So usually, dapat sila nagre-represent unless the DOJ has a clear basis to say na actually hindi ko kayang defend yan as a Tribune of the People because what you're doing may go against the interest of the people. Ibig sabihin, as a fundamental part of our justice system, kitang-kita na mukhang whether deliberate or not, dinidepend sa yung stand ni Rodrigo Duterte. In other words, even our own institutions are again defending or preventing the possible proper prosecution or holding into account of Rodrigo Duterte, no? So this withdrawal of or unwillingness of the OSG to defend the action of the executive actually fully shows that our institutions are not strong enough to hold a powerful leader into account because our institutions themselves are not willing to defend even just a matter of arrest. Not even the criminal case, even just a matter of arrest, unwilling para silang i-defend. Diba? Kailangan talaga ang ICC.